Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mama to an only child who's going to be going into 4th grade. Today I want to talk to you about 2 tips when deciding on homeschool curriculum. So if that is something that interests you, please keep watching. All right, so I know it's been curriculum season for a while. We get asked all the time, like, why this is considered curriculum season. I honestly don't know, other than a lot of sales happen and a lot of people tend to take a break. And so it kind of just allows us to plan ahead, so to say, and just get us in the mindset of summer and summer break for those of us who do take a break. Even those who like homeschool all year round, I mean, I know they schedule breaks as well. So I wanted to kind of come up with like 2 things that I think of when I am picking out homeschool curriculum. 2 top things. There are lots of things that I consider, but some of the top 2 as of recently is I have learned about my child's learning style. So I know that my child is mostly an auditory learner. That was like her highest percent when we took the learning style test. And so to me, that is picking out things that I can, there's a lot of ways to cater it. She could listen to an audiobook. She could listen to a video or a recording. And for me, I've noticed that when I have her say directions out loud, when she's reading or whatever, that tends to make it click better. And if she doesn't understand it, she's to read it out loud again. There are tons of these types of tests online if you search for learning style, and you can give your child the test and see what they score in. And I think that is so important for you to be able to cater their style into how they learn, because if you're giving them a curriculum and you're wondering why they're struggling and you think maybe it's just the curriculum, it might not specifically be the actual curriculum, but it could be something that you could simply alter for them using that same curriculum that you might not have thought of before. There are some learners who are kinesthetic. I think I said that right. And there are some that are visual, and so forth. So to know might help you, and it'll say, like, in these tests, it usually gives like a breakdown of examples and ideas on what this person might do to learn. So super important when I think or choose to pick a curriculum. But like I said, it doesn't mean you can't necessarily use a certain curriculum, but it could mean that your child may understand it better if you alter it in a certain way for them. So like for me, for multiplication, my child might learn it better if there's a song incorporated, because she is auditory learner, versus just seeing it on a page visually. Some kids might need both. Some kids might need that visual component as well as the listening component, or some may need to have something in their hand or standing or like moving about, or just very hands-on. That is definitely a thing. So that is what I really take into consideration when I'm about to pick a curriculum. The other thing that I really, really look for is seeing how many lessons come with a curriculum. We are the type of people that we do like to finish a curriculum within that year. I know that's not, at least for our core stuff, that's not something I want to skip out on. I know that is probably very bad advice for a new homeschooler. So if you are new here, spoiler alert, this is not something you have to do in your homeschool. This is just something for me personally that we like to do. I like to start out our years fresh. And if you think about it, not a lot of schools even finish page-to-page curriculum. Now, it doesn't mean that we're doing every single lesson. It just means that I want to finish that grade level in that grade level's year. And that's typically just for math and our language. And that's only because I feel those are the two most important things that I want her to keep on track with. Because the sooner, or like, I don't know, I feel like it's like a trickle effect, in my opinion. And it's very important to me to find something that has 120 lessons within that school book. If I dip into the 140s or more, I know we're not going to finish that because we only school 4 days a week. That can always change. If I find that it's just going to be easier to break it down into a 3-day school week, it may go to that. And so I don't want to be overwhelmed if there's way too many lessons in a book, and then it might take us 2 whole school years to get through, which in my opinion would not work for us. I also think it's super, super important to understand your homeschool and your homeschooling needs. If you have multiple kids, or if you have an only child like myself, you need to make practical decisions for flow. You have to make it easy for you as the teacher and the parent to be able to have things readily available to you so that you can either teach them all at once, or you know that if you're catering it to each child, you have the resources and the tools to be able to do that with ease. So I know that if I had multiple kids, Open and Go would probably be my best choice, because it's just that, it's Open and Go. Especially if you're a working mom, Open and Go can be so much more beneficial to you if you're not a planner. It's thinking of those things, but really thinking what's going to work for us in our homeschool. Don't think because you see some shiny object here on YouTube that you just need to go grab it up and pick it up. And then when you get it home and you realize, you know, this just doesn't look like it's going to work. Do your research. Get some used copies if you can find them, to look at it ahead of time before making that jump with like full price items. I know if you utilize eBay, Marketplace, thrift books, places like that, even your library will have some homeschool resources, or like teacher guides and, you know, curriculum there for you that you might be able to check out and just take a look at it, go over it and see, is this going to work before I spend the tons of money or whatever on the curriculum. I know I only said 2, but I think my third one is going to still drill into people that you do not have to buy a ton of things to teach your child. If you know that you're on a really strict budget and you see everyone with holding up book upon book upon book up here, and just know that you don't have to do that. You can buy one thing. You can go to the library and pick out a couple books on a topic and make your own unit study out of it. Pull some vocabulary words, pull some spelling words, or both, or make them both the same, where these are your spelling words from these books. This is what you have to look up for your vocabulary. This is your handwriting practice. Tell me how to write a sentence with each word. Pull and Google some YouTube videos on the topic, or any type of resources you can pull together to kind of make your own little unit study. And you can take as many subjects as you want and find a resource for it. So if you see maybe there's a science experiment, maybe there's a history project on a specific person, you can do a biography on a specific person from one of the books. So there's lots of ways you can incorporate curriculum without going absolutely nuts and buying all the things. I will say, take the placement test if you do buy the curriculum, to make sure you're placing your child in the appropriate age level. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily match up to where your child's at, and it's okay to start them in a lower grade or a higher grade. It's whatever your child needs. Cater it to your child. That is the whole purpose of homeschooling. So those are just a few things that I take a look at when I am going to be buying curriculum. Now, you may be in a season where you don't even need to buy a curriculum yet, then ignore all these videos. I mean, you don't have to go with the flow here. You don't have to follow all the people who are doing this. So just know that we are here to kind of give you knowledge based on our own experiences. And it doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy whatever it is people are showing you on their YouTube screens. So keep that in mind. I know this can be a very overwhelming time in our homeschool community with all of these curriculum choices and options. So I hope that was helpful in any way. I think learning style is about probably my number one when I'm thinking of curriculum for the following year. I will try to find the test link that I did with my child and link that down below if I can find it. If not, Google is your best friend, and you can just Google learning style tests or quizzes, and I'm sure you'll get a bunch of free ones that pop up. I would not pay any money for these things. There are tons of free options here. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what your top things are and what how you decide to choose your curriculum for the following year, or maybe you don't use curriculum. I would love to hear your methods and how you plan that out in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.